Welcome to NRP On Demand. The progressive era was intensified and fed by a new media environment. Cheaper paper, new printing techniques allowed mass production of newspapers just like the other industries, which meant that the journalists that could go out into the world were getting more exposure. And what they chose to look into were the issues of the day. Known as muckrakers, a derogatory term given to them by Teddy Roosevelt because they were always digging up the muck. The journalists would investigate corporations and conditions and point out some of the problems of the Gilded Age society now transforming into the progressive era. They would point out the corruption of political machines like Thomas Nast in Boss Tweed's New York City. They would look into the power of monopolies like Ida Tarbell and point out the bad things that the monopolies were doing and seeking new antitrust legislation. They would expose the plight of Native Americans, or they would show the fight of the working class, and you had a large amount of socialists that emerged during this time period. Or they would, oddly enough, they would actually point out the problems immigrants were facing in these ethnic neighborhoods and urban areas. I know in the last time we've talked about the idea that the progressives didn't want their money going to the immigrants, but they did want to help the immigrants. They just thought they could do it better than the political machines. Now, the thing about the muckrakers is that they exposed all of these issues, but because they're progressives, they think that the government can do good things. The muckrakers would expose the issue, and then they would expect the government to try to solve a problem to fix it. The best example of this is Upton Sinclair. Upton Sinclair went into a meatpacking industry, and he wrote a book called The Jungle, which exposed all of the issues going on with that industry. Now, he anticipated it as a work to show the plight of the working class, but when people read the book, what they saw was all the stuff that was going into their meat, rotten meat, rat droppings, all this other not good stuff. And what happened was the people read this work, and they demanded the government action to make sure that they were getting safe meat. It led the government to create the Federal the Food and Drug Administration, the FDA, which we still have today.
Thank you for joining us with this NRP On Demand broadcast. For more information on the National Reconstitution Project, our mission, or the projects, please visit our website listed below.